The wedding invitation trembled in Dr. Elena Moretti's hands. Her ex-girlfriend was getting married, to a man. That shouldn't have bothered her. It had been 5 years since they'd spoken. But when Elena arrived at the vineyard estate as the bride's family physician, required to attend for professional reasons, she discovered something that shattered her carefully constructed walls. The bride's older sister, Victoria, watching her with eyes that held both recognition and hunger. What began as a polite introduction at the rehearsal dinner became a charged glance across the candlelit table. By midnight, they were alone in the wine cellar, and Victoria's whispered confession changed everything. "I've been watching you all evening, trying to figure out why my sister let you go." Elena's response was caught in her throat as Victoria stepped closer. Some desires, once awakened, refused to be silenced. Elena had perfected the art of professional detachment. 20 years as a cardiologist had taught her to compartmentalize, to separate the personal from the professional with surgical precision. But nothing in her training had prepared her for Victoria Ashford. The rehearsal dinner was held in a glass conservatory overlooking rolling hills of grapevines. Elena had arrived late, slipping into her seat just as the toasts began. She'd spotted her ex, Melissa, glowing in ivory, holding hands with her fiancé. Elena felt nothing. That relationship had ended cleanly, without bitterness, both of them acknowledging they wanted different futures. What she hadn't anticipated was the woman sitting directly across from her. Victoria Ashford was everything Melissa wasn't, commanding where Melissa was gentle, sharp-edged where Melissa was soft. She wore a midnight blue suit that looked painted on, her dark hair pulled back severely, emphasizing the elegant architecture of her face. When their eyes met, Elena felt a jolt of recognition, though they'd never met. "Dr. Moretti," Victoria said, her voice low and warm. "My sister speaks very highly of your work." "Your sister is kind," Elena replied, reaching for her wine glass to have something to do with her hands. "My sister is many things. Kind isn't usually the first word I'd choose." Victoria's smile was knowing, conspiratorial. "She told me you saved her father's life last year, the emergency bypass surgery." "I did my job." "Modest, too." Victoria tilted her head, studying Elena with an intensity that made her skin prickle. "Tell me, doctor, what brings a cardiovascular surgeon to a wedding where she must know exactly one person, her ex-girlfriend?" Elena stiffened. "Professional courtesy. Your father requested I attend. He's still my patient." "Of course." Victoria's finger traced the rim of her glass. "Though I wonder if that's the only reason." Before Elena could respond, Melissa's voice rang out, calling for attention. The toasts began, champagne flowed, and Elena told herself the flush in her cheeks was from the wine, not from the way Victoria's gaze kept finding her across the table. After dinner, guests scattered throughout the estate. Elena escaped to the terrace, needing air, needing distance from Victoria's magnetic pull. The night was unseasonably warm, stars scattered across the sky like diamond dust. "Running away, doctor?" Elena turned. Victoria stood in the doorway, backlit by golden light, holding 2 glasses of wine. "I needed air," Elena said. "Liar." Victoria crossed to her, offering 1 glass. "You needed escape. From Melissa or from me?" Elena took the wine, their fingers brushing. The contact sent electricity up her arm. "I don't know what you mean." "Don't you?" Victoria moved closer, close enough that Elena could smell her perfume, something dark and complex, like smoke and jasmine. "I've been watching you all evening, Elena. May I call you Elena?" "That's my name." "I've been watching you," Victoria continued, "trying to understand why my sister let you go. You're brilliant, beautiful, successful, and yet here you are, alone at her wedding, looking like you'd rather be anywhere else." "I'm here because my father insisted." "Yes, you said that." Victoria's eyes held hers. "But that doesn't explain why you're standing here with me instead of making small talk with the other guests. It doesn't explain why your pulse jumped when I said your name. I saw it, Elena, right here. She gestured to Elena's throat. Cardiovascular surgeon, remember? I know what accelerated heartbeat looks like. Elena should have walked away, should have made an excuse, returned to her hotel, maintained her professional boundaries. Instead, she heard herself say, "What do you want, Victoria?" Victoria's smile was slow, devastating. Honestly, I want to know what it would take to make your heart race even faster. The air between them crackled with tension. Elena's rational mind screamed warnings, but her body had already made its decision, leaning imperceptibly toward Victoria's warmth. "This is inappropriate," Elena whispered. "Completely," Victoria agreed. "Does that mean you want me to stop?" Elena's silence was answer enough. They ended up in the wine cellar, Victoria leading the way down stone steps worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. Elena followed, her mind warring with her body, knowing this was reckless, knowing she should turn back. The cellar was cool and dark, lit only by small sconces along the walls. Rows of bottles stretched into shadows, the air thick with the scent of oak and fermentation. "My family's been making wine here for 4 generations," Victoria said, running her hand along a dusty bottle. "My great-grandfather built this cellar himself. It's my favorite place on the estate." "Why did you bring me here?" Elena asked, though she knew the answer. Victoria turned to face her, leaning against the wine rack. "Because up there we have to pretend. Down here we don't." "Pretend what?" "That we're not both thinking about what it would feel like if I kissed you right now." Elena's breath caught. "Victoria..." "Tell me I'm wrong," Victoria challenged. "Tell me you haven't been imagining it since the moment we met. Tell me your professional detachment is intact, doctor, and I'll apologize and we'll go back upstairs and never speak of this again." Elena couldn't. The words wouldn't come because they'd be lies, and she'd never been good at lying. "That's what I thought." Victoria pushed off from the rack, closing the distance between them. She didn't touch Elena, but she was close enough that Elena could feel the heat of her body. "Do you know what I do for a living, Elena?" "Melissa mentioned you're in finance." "I'm a risk analyst. I assess probability, calculate outcomes, determine whether potential rewards justify potential costs." Victoria's voice dropped lower. "And right now, every algorithm in my brain is telling me that kissing you would be a catastrophically bad decision." "Then why are you still standing so close?" "Because sometimes," Victoria whispered, "the heart wants what it wants, regardless of what the brain calculates. And my heart has been screaming since I saw you walk into that conservatory." Elena's professional composure shattered. "I can't be the person who ruins your sister's wedding weekend." "You're not ruining anything. Melissa doesn't own you. She gave up that right 5 years ago." Victoria's hand came up, hovering near Elena's face but not quite touching. "May I?" Elena nodded, not trusting her voice. Victoria's fingers traced her jawline, feather-light, reverent. "God, you're beautiful. How did Melissa ever let you walk away?" "We wanted different things," Elena managed. "She wanted stability, family, the traditional path. I was married to my career." "And now? What do you want now?" The honest answer terrified her. "I don't know anymore." "Liar," Victoria said again, but gently this time. "You know exactly what you want. You're just afraid to take it." Before Elena could respond, voices echoed from the top of the stairs, other guests looking for more wine. Victoria stepped back smoothly, the moment broken. "We should go," she said, her professional mask sliding back into place. "Before someone gets the wrong idea." Or the right one, Elena thought. They climbed the stairs in silence, returning to the party separately. But for the rest of the evening, Elena felt Victoria's gaze on her like a physical touch. And every time their eyes met across the room, the air between them ignited. At midnight, Elena retreated to her hotel room, her skin still tingling from that almost kiss in the wine cellar. She told herself it was just attraction, just chemistry, nothing more. But when her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number, her heart knew better. Same time tomorrow, the cellar remembers what we started. V. Elena stared at the message for a full minute before typing her response. This is a mistake. Victoria's reply came immediately. Probably, but some mistakes are worth making. Good night, doctor. Elena didn't sleep that night. The wedding ceremony was scheduled for 4 o'clock. Elena had planned to arrive at 3:50, slip into a back row, and leave immediately after. She had not planned on Victoria appearing at her hotel room door at 9 in the morning, holding coffee and croissants. You're avoiding me, Victoria said when Elena opened the door. I'm preparing for a wedding, Elena replied, though she was still in her pajamas. In your hotel room, alone, 3 hours early. Victoria's smile was knowing. May I come in, or are we having this conversation in the hallway? Elena stepped aside. Victoria entered, setting the coffee and pastries on the small table by the window. She was dressed casually today, jeans that fit like a sin, a white linen shirt rolled at the sleeves. Somehow she made casual look elegant. I didn't sleep last night, Victoria said, sitting down. I kept thinking about what you said, that this is a mistake. It is. Maybe, but I've spent my entire life making careful, calculated decisions. I chose finance because it was practical. I dated men my family approved of because it was easier. I've colored inside every line, followed every rule. Victoria's eyes met hers. And I've been miserable. Elena sank into the chair across from her. Victoria, let me finish. Please. Victoria leaned forward. When I saw you last night, something in me just woke up. Like I'd been sleepwalking through my life and suddenly someone turned on the lights. I know it's crazy. I know we just met. But I can't stop thinking about you. Your sister is happy. She's marrying someone she loves. She's moved on, Elena. She's not wearing your ring. She's wearing his. She doesn't get to dictate what you do or who you feel something for. It's still complicated. Life is complicated. Victoria reached across the table, her hand palm up, an invitation. But this, what I feel when I'm near you, is the simplest thing I've ever experienced. It's just want. Pure and uncomplicated want. Elena stared at Victoria's outstretched hand. If she took it, there would be no going back. If she took it, she'd be crossing a line she'd sworn she wouldn't cross. She took it. Victoria's fingers closed around hers, warm and strong. Come with me today, before the wedding. Let me show you something. Show me what? Trust me? Against all logic, Elena did. An hour later, they were driving through vineyard country in Victoria's car, windows down, music playing low. Victoria wouldn't say where they were going, just kept driving with a small smile playing at her lips. They ended up at a lake, hidden away in the hills, surrounded by cypress trees. It was perfectly still, the water reflecting the sky like a mirror. I found this place when I was 16, Victoria said, killing the engine. I'd come here whenever family dinners got too intense, whenever I felt like I was suffocating under everyone's expectations. They walked to the water's edge. Victoria picked up a smooth stone, skipped it across the surface. 3 skips before it sank. Why did you bring me here? Elena asked. Because I wanted you to see the real me. Not the sister of the bride, not the finance executive, not the woman who always does what's expected. Victoria turned to face her. Just me, Victoria, the woman who's terrified and exhilarated because she hasn't felt this way about anyone in her entire life. Elena's defenses were crumbling. I'm 12 years older than you. I'm 42, Elena, not a child. Your family will adjust, or they won't. But I'm tired of living my life for them. Victoria stepped closer. I'm tired of being afraid, aren't you? The truth was, Elena was exhausted from fear. Fear of getting hurt again, fear of disrupting her carefully ordered life, fear of wanting something this badly. "What are you proposing?" Elena asked. "A weekend affair? A secret relationship?" "I'm proposing we see where this goes, honestly, openly." Victoria's hand came up to cup Elena's face. "I'm proposing we stop calculating risks and just feel. Can you do that, doctor? Can you let yourself feel?" Elena closed her eyes, leaning into Victoria's touch. When she opened them again, Victoria was watching her with such raw vulnerability that it took her breath away. "I'm scared," Elena admitted. "Good," Victoria whispered. "That means it matters." This time, when Victoria leaned in, Elena didn't pull away. Their lips met softly at first, tentative, questioning. Then Victoria's hand slid into Elena's hair, and the kiss deepened, became something urgent and necessary and inevitable. When they finally pulled apart, both breathing hard, Victoria rested her forehead against Elena's. "We should go back," she said, "the wedding." "Right, the wedding." But neither of them moved. The ceremony was beautiful. Melissa looked radiant. Her fiancé looked besotted. Elena watched from the third row, genuinely happy for them, feeling nothing but goodwill. What she felt for Victoria, who stood at the altar as maid of honor, was something else entirely. Their eyes met during the vows, and Elena saw her own emotions reflected back. Desire, fear, hope, wonder. When Victoria smiled, small, private, meant only for her, Elena felt her heart expand in her chest. At the reception, they maintained careful distance, dancing with other people, making small talk with guests. But the tension between them was palpable, a living thing that seemed to draw them together despite their best efforts to stay apart. Elena was standing by the bar when Melissa appeared beside her. "Having fun?" Melissa asked. Elena's stomach tightened with guilt. "It's a beautiful wedding. You look happy." "I am." Melissa ordered champagne, handed one glass to Elena. "And you? Are you happy?" "I'm getting there." Melissa studied her for a long moment. "You and Victoria?" It wasn't a question. Elena's carefully prepared denials died on her lips. "Melissa, it's okay," Melissa said softly. "Actually, it's more than okay. It's perfect." Elena stared at her. "What?" "Victoria's been lost for so long, Elena, following paths other people laid out for her, trying to fit into spaces that were never her shape." Melissa's smile was genuine, warm. "I've never seen her look at anyone the way she looks at you, like she's finally found something real." "You're not upset that my ex-girlfriend and my sister have chemistry, please?" Melissa laughed. "You and I were good together, but we were never right. We both knew it. But you and Victoria, that's something different. Anyone with eyes can see it. We barely know each other. Sometimes knowing someone isn't about time. It's about recognition." Melissa squeezed her hand. "Take a chance, Elena. You deserve to be happy, and so does she." After Melissa walked away, Elena stood frozen, processing. She'd been so worried about complications, about propriety, about doing the right thing. But maybe the right thing wasn't avoiding risk. Maybe it was embracing it. She found Victoria on the terrace, alone, looking up at the stars. "Hey," Elena said softly. Victoria turned, her face lighting up. "Hey yourself. Hiding again?" "Actually, I was looking for you." Elena moved closer. "I talked to Melissa." Victoria tensed. "And?" "She gave us her blessing. Not that we needed it, but—" Elena took Victoria's hands in hers. "I've been thinking about what you said. About feeling instead of calculating. About taking risks. And?" And I'm terrified. This could end badly. You could break my heart. I could break yours. We could be making a huge mistake. We could, Victoria agreed, but I want to try anyway. Elena pulled Victoria closer. I want to see where this goes. I want to take the risk. With you. Victoria's smile was blinding. Yeah? Yeah. Elena laughed, feeling lighter than she had in years. God help me, yeah. Victoria kissed her then, in full view of anyone who cared to look. And Elena kissed her back, no longer caring about propriety or appearances or what anyone thought. When the kiss ended, Victoria whispered against her lips, "Come home with me tonight, not to the estate, my place, in the city. I have surgery scheduled Monday morning. I'll drive you back Sunday night, or Monday at dawn, whatever you need." Victoria's eyes searched hers. Say yes, Elena. Say yes to this, to us. Elena thought about her careful life, her controlled emotions, her professional distance. She thought about all the years she'd spent protecting herself from exactly this kind of wild, reckless feeling. Then she thought about the way her heart raced when Victoria smiled, the way the world seemed brighter when Victoria was near, the way she felt more alive in 2 days with this woman than she had in 5 years without her. Yes, she said. Yes to everything. They left the reception hand in hand, driving through the night toward whatever came next. It wasn't practical. It wasn't safe. It wasn't calculated or planned or sensible. It was, Elena thought as Victoria's fingers intertwined with hers, absolutely perfect. 3 months later, Elena would still say it started with a wedding invitation. Victoria would insist it started in a wine cellar, with a confession and an almost kiss. They'd both be right. What mattered wasn't how it started, but where it led. To late-night conversations that stretched until dawn, to Sunday mornings tangled in sheets, to arguing over whose apartment they'd keep, to meeting each other's friends, to slow dancing in Victoria's kitchen while pasta boiled over on the stove. To love. Messy, complicated, inconvenient, perfect love. Some desires, once awakened, don't just refuse to be silenced. They become the soundtrack to your entire life. Did this story touch your heart? Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts. Have you ever taken a chance on unexpected love? What would you do in Elena's position? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more passionate stories that celebrate love in all its beautiful forms. New stories every week.